Okay, so we are going to practice Yin Yoga specifically for the root chakra tonight. And so I'm going to ask you to make sure you have either a yoga block and a yoga strap, or if you have a belt or even a towel or a shirt. And if you don't have the block, you can use like a hardback book. You could also use a firm pillow. So make sure you have those things. And then we're actually going to find a comfortable seat. So I'm going to offer a supported Virasana. Virasana is a yin pose, but if you have any knee issues, sit comfortably. And that can mean sitting in a chair. But so Virasana is where we sit between the heels. So if my knees were together, I would sit between my heels. That doesn't ever feel good for my knees. So I'll take the block or the blanket or bolster and sit on that. So my knees are together, my feet are separated far enough for me to put the block down and sit my butt between my heels. So my knees are not lifting off the mat. My feet can fan out, pressing the tops of the feet down. Hands can rest on the thighs or however it's comfortable. You can also do a half version of this. So if you've got one knee that's a little bit wonky, you could always extend the leg and just do a half Virasana, or sit comfortably. So we're talking about our root support. We're talking about our foundation. We're talking about security, survival, our connection to the material world. So we really want to feel in our seat. We want to feel grounded. We want to feel connected. So either sitting in your supported Virasana, also called straddle, one of the straddle versions in Yin, tops of the feet down, and just start to deepen your breath. So focus your attention at your tailbone, the base of your spine. Again, fan the toes out and wiggle around so that the bony parts of your bottom are pressing into whatever support is there. Press the hands into the thighs to lift your spine up out of the hips, out of the pelvic bowl. And let's just take a couple breaths here. So take a big inhale through the nose, fill up the low belly. Open mouth, exhale, feel the sit bones root down a little bit more, allow a heaviness through the legs. Inhale, fill up into the belly, lengthen up and out of the pelvic bowl. Exhale, out the mouth, draw the belly and feel the bony parts of the butt tack down a little deeper into the earth. One more time, inhale, fill up, press the tops of the feet down. Open mouth, exhale, ground. And just feel into that energy at the base of your spine, the muladhara chakra, the first chakra, the root chakra. Breathe in and out through your nose. Focus the breath at the base of the spine, at the tailbone. And almost again, imagine as though a cord, a root could drop from your tailbone down through the block, down through the pillows, down through the mat, down through the floor, all the way down to the core of the earth, the red, crystalline, hot core of the earth. And just allow yourself to drop into the conscious contact with the earth. Because at this time, as we drop into the root chakra, we are setting the intention to reorganize, to reset, to release any outdated structure, system, authority, way of life that does not serve us at this time, ourselves personally and collectively. The root chakra is where we connect to ancestry and planet. So whatever work we do in our root is for ourselves, but also our bloodline and our planetary connection. And so the more connected we can feel to the earth, the more we can feel safe to let go. This is the chakra of the right to belong, the right to be here. And so the descent into the root chakra, the recalibration of the root chakra allows us to reset our relationship to safety, to security, to support, to sustainability. Take another breath in. Exhale it out. And we will invoke the energy of the muladhara chakra through chanting the seed sound, which is Lam. And you can just listen and focus at the base of the spine. You can visualize the color red. And if you'd like, you can join in and tone the sound Lam. Inhale. Lam. And as we move through our sequence today, I would like you to continue to kind of keep your attention at the base of the spine, either just breathing into the root, maybe imagining that grounding cord helping you to draw what you need from the earth, release what you don't. You can visualize the color red. You can continue to hear the sound of Lam. Take one more big breath into your Virasana. Open mouth, let it go. Go ahead and shift yourself forward. And we're going to push back into our standing forward bend. So we did this last week for the root chakra. So we're revisiting our standing forward fold. So you can use a bed, a chair, you can use blocks, or you can just dangle like a rag doll. So the toes are forward, the feet are a comfortable distance apart, and you are allowing yourself to flow down towards the earth. So relax the shoulders, soften the jaw. Good. So you can bend the knees and rock the hips a little bit. So as much support as you want. Yeah, and so again, like Pam is pushing kind of into the bed and the hips back a little bit, and that can feel really good for low back pain and for pregnancy. This is a great pose to kind of stack the forearms and push into something to draw the hips back. Soft knees. You can wiggle around here. And again, you can be very still in these poses. So when the root chakra is imbalanced, we sometimes either see that as really heavy, dense, dried out, right? That can like that, just that denseness. Other times it's like sand. You can't root at all. It's hard to connect, or muddy, right? So think of all the ways that earth can either have too much of the other elements or not enough, right? Like what would you think of as a healthy presence of earth, right? Like maybe a mountain, maybe a garden, maybe a tree, maybe ancient stones. So as we do this practice, as we connect to this root chakra awareness, maybe consider where you feel most connected to the earth. Is it in trees? Is it in mountains? Is it the desert? Where do you feel most grounded, nourished, safe, steady? And so chakra system is energetic. So while we may be able to put poses to each chakra, the more intention, the more presence we have around it, the more we're going to bring that restoration. So breathing into roots, to stones, to bones, whatever way you feel into the earth energy today. Whatever feels the most safe, the most grounding, the most anchoring, breathe that in. We'll take a few more breaths here. Again, feel free to wiggle and shift or just let go. Creating space through the back of the body. So the root chakra is also the bones, our function of elimination from the tailbone down to the toes. In the Chinese medicine, we find earth also in the stomach and the spleen meridians. So again, how we absorb and nourish and release. Take a few more breaths. And then take your time. You can transition in any way, but we will move from this pose into our child's pose. So you may, in the next few breaths, just step back onto your mat. You can bring padding for the knees. And if child's pose doesn't work for you, so go ahead and stay in that standing forward fold a little bit longer. And you can adjust however you'd like. The child's pose, if you want to use props, use a bolster or a pillow and bring that between the thighs. So you can really feel that support. So either staying in our ragdoll or transitioning into balasana, into child's pose. Just staying connected to that earth element, moving with your breath. Breathing into the back body. And again, at any point, if the body needs movement, if you're feeling that stagnant, dense, heavy earth, you're welcome to add any kind of movement. Even as I call out the yin poses, let the body transition through it as it feels safe, as it feels supported. Continue to focus at the base of the spine, color red, sound of alarm, or again, visualizing connecting to the earth structure that most feels like a sanctuary. Every inhale, we draw earth energy in to reorganize, reset. And every exhale, we release, again, that stagnant, outdated, unhealthy earth element. In the kosha system, the earth is associated with the food body, with what we eat. So literally what we take into our body, the nourishment, safety. Take a few more really good breaths into your child's pose, or even if you're still in your forward fold or anywhere in between. How much more can you settle into the earth? Allow the gravitational pull towards that center of the earth. Deep, deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale completely. And so whether you're in child's pose or you're standing forward fold, we're going to come up onto the knees into broken toe pose. So you can keep a blanket for under the knees, but we want to, it's similar to Virasana, but we have the toes tucked and then we sit back on the heels. So toes are tucked and we sit back on the heels. So rolling the shoulders down. So if you need to, you can always have blocks or books on either side of you. And you want to make sure the pinky toe doesn't escape. So sitting back on the heels. And if you want a little more, you can always lean back. You could also, do a little bit of movement through the upper body if you wanted to do a little side bend or neck roll. But for some of us, we have to shift forward and bring support under our hands. So this is, we call it broken toe, but I've never had anybody break a toe from it before, but it opens up the feet in a really powerful way. And in the yin tradition, so many of the meridians connect to the feet. So it opens up all of the organs as well as grounding, earthing. So feel free to do anything you need to here. If you need to stand up on the knees for a few moments, and just stay with the breath. And you can always come back into that standing forward fold or child's pose if this gets to be too much. And again, if you want a little more, you can rock, you could bring movement, or just let yourself lean back. And for some people, this feels easy at first. And then after, about 30 seconds, right, you start to feel it, especially if you wear challenging shoes. Regardless of, high heels or sometimes just tight shoes that lack support. Keep breathing into the base of the spine and down into the feet. Such an important root chakra pose. All of these poses, Virasana and Uttanasana and Balasana, Again, these are all such powerful root chakra restructuring poses. Reorganizing the earth element, reorganizing our root support. Keep breathing, of course, shift if you need to, but try to relax the shoulders, relax the face. There's a quality of yielding in the yin practice. Good. Take another big, big, big breath. And sigh it out. Go ahead and shift over to one side. Ooh, come onto your bottom. You can sit on your blanket if you need to. Give the legs a little shake. And then make little light fists with your hands and just gently pound down the thighs and the calves. So when we do any kind of self-massage, we don't ever want to hit the bone. So just gently along the outsides, these outside lines here. And then you can do inside. And if it's comfortable for you, you can even shift to one side and get your glute with this. And you can draw your foot in and pound along the foot. And just breathe, stay soft, stay receptive. You can use both fists along the calf, the hamstrings. If you happen to have a yoga ball handy, you can always roll that under you instead of pounding. We're just going to take about a minute to just move some of this energy. Any other kind of sort of self-massage feels good here. You can always sort of dig the knuckles into the arches or stick your fingers between your toes and just breathe. So this kind of movement is so necessary, that connecting physically to our body, to our system, to our feet and our legs, to our skin. Just keep breathing. And just make sure if you're tending to one side, you just do a few breaths and then you go to the other. And then go ahead and extend both legs out when you're ready and just give them a shake. Just releasing. And then come up on your sits bones. So again, find that connection to the sits bones. Bend your knees and draw the toes towards the sky. So you don't need to overly flex them, but the toes are facing up. And then scooch yourself up. You can hold behind the hamstrings, lift up. You can stay here or with the hands down for a dandasana, or lift up and out of the pelvis and reach for your toes for caterpillar or paschimottanasana. And again, you can stay upright and breathe. If you want more, start to extend the legs and you can lift up and over. So to make this more passive, the palms can face up. You can even grab your pillows or blankets and bring it up at a slant so the forehead comes down. So you're really just coming up and over. It's very supportive. Or you could sort of stack things up in a way that you place the forehead over the legs. So caterpillar in yin is sometimes literally just being very soft and lifting up and over and holding here. So just kind of letting gravity win without a lot of pushing and pulling and coming into the hamstring opener. In traditional yoga, that will even, will come down a lot deeper and hold the feet and get the belly to the thighs. So you can choose. You can keep this just a much more gentle caterpillar, or you can go into that intense Western stretch. A lot of it just depends on the day and your body and where you are in the practice. And again, you can do little rocking, little shifting, sighing. So this is similar to what we did in our standing forward fold. We've just shifted the shape, right? So we're on our butt folding over our legs rather than folding over our legs with our feet down. So a different relationship to that gravitational pull, to the root support. Keep breathing into the base of your spine. Connecting that grounding cord in the earth. Soft face, soft shoulders. So let everything sort of soften into the skeleton. Let your eyes soften back in their sockets. And just let everything settle in to the root, to the bone. Deep, deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Slowly roll it up and give yourself a little rock. We're going to transition down to the back. Make sure you have your strap, your block, and any other props that you might need. And I definitely want you to have your head on something. So especially pregnancy, make sure that when you roll back, your head is on something. So your head is not below your heart. Make sure your head is supported, your neck is comfortable, the head is at least level to the heart or slightly lifted. So we'll roll down onto the back. Make sure the head is supported, slightly lifted. And then just take the feet as wide as the mat. We'll just do a little bit of windshield wiper. So you could always put pillows to the right and left of the mat. So that as the knees rock up and over, they might settle onto the pillows. Arms can stay down by the sides. They can kind of open up like goalposts, but just rolling the legs, rolling across the feet. Feet nice and wide, jaw soft. And the next time they roll to the right, we're going to hold. So again, it might be nice to put your block or a pillow under that right thigh. Roll the shoulders down, so have support under the right thigh. And then if you want, the right foot can rest on the left thigh. So this can sometimes be really nice if there's something under the right thigh and then the right foot on the left thigh. Roll the shoulders down, soften the jaw, the head can stay neutral. So this is a twist specific for that root chakra. So very gentle twist. This is a safe pregnancy twist. Very much just connecting to the low back base of the spine. So just breathe gently here. Again, I really like putting the pillow under the right thigh and then stacking the right foot over the left thigh. Low belly breath. So now feeling the difference in the body as we lie on the back. So from being up on the knees, on the feet, on the butt. Now down on the back, allowing, again, the skeleton to just sink closer to the earth. And the big bones of the legs supporting you into this pose. What are we wringing out of that root chakra that maybe came up in the first part of the sequence? What are we rinsing and reorganizing from our support system, our ancestry? This is our survival. This is the basic needs met, right? Food, safety, water, ability to eliminate. A lot of times the root chakra is connected to the adrenal glands, which even though they kind of live in the third chakra, they are very much the survival, the fight or flight glands. So you can sort of soften the adrenals closer to the earth in this pose. Take another big breath in. Exhale it out. Shake the head a little bit. And then slide the right foot off the left. And then bring the knees to center. And as you bring the knees to center, hug the right knee into the chest. The left foot can stay planted, or you can extend the left leg out long, whatever feels more anchoring. And then again, make sure you have your strap or your towel. And you can always just keep the right knee bent. So at any point, just bend the right knee. You can breathe and rock here. But I'm going to ask you to take your strap or your towel and hook it below the big toe ball mount on the right foot, and then extend the right leg to the sky. Roll the shoulders down, plug that right hip in. So you can hold with the strap with just the right hand. It could be both hands. You can have the knee bent. And again, the foot is engaged, but we're not overly flexing. And so we're going to be here for several breaths. Relax the shoulders, soften the jaw. And I will mention, if pregnancy or anyone, if you start to feel dizzy at all, you can always sit up and do this sitting. You could sit up against the wall and do this same thing. So if at any point anyone feels dizzy or uncomfortable on the back, you can do this from seated too. Just for a lot of people, it feels more accessible. You're able to relax a little bit more and go deeper on the back, but listen to your body. Hold the strap in a place where you can roll the shoulders down, soften your jaw. This is opening the calf, the hamstrings, again, reaching through the heel. Staying connected to whatever imagery or energetic awareness connected you to that root, the base of the spine, the core down into the earth, the image of your favorite earth landscape. I kind of like them all. I love the trees. I've been missing the big trees of the Pacific Northwest lately, but then the red rocks of New Mexico and Arizona are so healing. And of course, the amazing mountains. And I also love the desert, get in the mood for the desert. All right, so what manifestation of earth feels the most safe? This is our container. The root chakra is said to be originally developed in utero. So most of us had no say in the development of our root chakra. It really depended on just our biological mother, the environment of our biological mother, physically and emotionally. Fortunately for us, we can always come back to reset and reorganize the chakra systems, but our original connection of the root is formed in utero. So that environment is establishing our root chakra before we're even born. And then we travel through the waters, coming into the world, into that second chakra, that emotional attachment place. And we'll start to talk about that next week. So it's very interesting that people who often have some root chakra issues, they happened in the belly, in childbirth, before they ever came in. And that first full year between, the first 9-10 months in the womb and the first few months outside of it, that is the root chakra. Again, that's not all. That's not it. We can do more, but that's the initial support. Take a deep breath. Exhale here. We're going to open up the IT band. So take the strap and hold it in the left hand. Release the right arm down. Draw the right leg up and then start to cross it just a little bit towards the left. So you can even just start bringing the right toes towards the left shoulder. And the more you draw the leg towards the body, the more you're going to feel that big stretch on the outside of the leg. So roll the shoulders down, breathe into that IT band. So shoulders are down, jaw is soft. And that right leg does not have to come that far to the left. And like I said, if you want more, pull it closer to you rather than bringing it down more. You can take your right thumb and dig it into the right hip crease as you pull up and over. If you want a little bit more. So breathing into that long stretch through the IT band. My bed is nicely placed here. I can kind of rest my right foot on it and then just focus on drawing it in a little bit more. And then think about kind of squaring the hip. So the more you draw that right leg across to the left, can you pull that left hip in a little bit? Soften the face, relax the jaw. You could do this seated too. Again, if for any reason this isn't right on the back, you would just start to pull that leg up and across the body, keeping the right hand behind you or leaning back up against the wall. Just a few more breaths. Keep breathing into the base of the spine. Soften your jaw and settle into your skeleton. Inhale. Exhale. Start to draw the right leg up. If it's available, bring both hands to the strap, and without over flexing, just draw that right leg in towards you as much as you comfortably can. You can put a bend in the knee, soften the jaw, just take another breath here into the hamstrings, into the calf. Exhale it out. Gently release the strap for a moment. Hug that right knee in. Whew. So I'm going to offer a version of a quad stretch here, and I'll give you a couple modifications because the quad is awkward to find. So keep the right knee in, but place the left foot on the mat. And then you're going to take the top of the right foot and you're going to basically bring it underneath the left thigh so that you're pointing. So think about when we did that straddle pose at the beginning. So the right knee is pointing down. That right foot is coming in towards my left hip. My left hand is holding the top of my right foot. And I'm lengthening my right knee down. And I can keep the left knee bent or drop it open. Because again, to get to the quad, a lot of times we have to kind of do awkward things like, you know, coming up and bringing the right foot back. So again, if you have a quad stretch that you know you can comfortably come into, then go ahead and do that. But otherwise, like I said, on the back, left hand to the top of the right foot, pull the top of that right foot underneath the left hip, and lengthen that right knee down. So that gets into the psoas and the quadricep as well. But if that's too much or not enough, you're welcome, like I said, to come up and take a different quad stretch. And just whatever feels comfortable in the left leg. Breathe here. And we don't want to feel any pain in the knee. So that's, again, what's tricky is it's hard to get into the quadricep without kind of getting into the knee a little or a lot. But the quad is a big muscle, and it is, you know, it's wrapped around the femur bone being the biggest bone in the body. The thigh bone is our biggest bone. 3 more deep breaths into any version of the quad stretch that you're in. Or you can always just hug that right knee in and not worry about it. Shake out the head, inhale. And exhale, slowly release that right foot. Place both feet on the mat distance. We're gonna do that little windshield wiper. So rocking the knees. Again, if you had a blanket or anything down on that right side, you might wanna move it over. And again, just a little bit of movement here between sides just to clear out, shake from our roots, any dust, any debris, anything that got brought up on that right side. And then as you're ready, the next time the left leg comes to the left, maybe it rests on a pillow. Feet nice and wide, left foot can come onto the right thigh. Hands can be at your sides, up overhead, they could rest on the body. Make sure the head and neck is comfortable and supported. Breathing here, so we're coming into that second side of our reclining root chakra sequence. So adjusting in any way that you need to, softening, breathing. Relax the mouth, let the eyes settle in. Deep inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Again, wringing out the roots here, rinsing out the roots. Slowly slide the left foot off. Begin to bend the knees, and we'll draw the left knee into the chest. So again, you might keep the right foot down or extend it. And you can always just hug that left knee in. This is so great for the low back and for our elimination. But if and when you're ready, we'll take the strap or towel, place it below the left big toe ball mount, and lengthen the left leg up. So one side is usually tighter, which probably most of you are aware of. Roll your shoulders down. So again, feel the imprint, right, of the spine, of the back body on the earth. Hold the strap with whatever hand feels more accessible. And again, several breaths here. It's our reclining hand to foot pose. So just noticing, right, those big muscles, our hamstrings, our calf, maybe a bit into the hip. The left knee can be soft, that's totally fine. And again, don't over flex the left foot. Relax the shoulders, the face, draw the belly in. So sometimes we find that one side starts to shake sooner than the other, differently than the other. Or one side has more sensation, the other one feels a little bit more disconnected. And again, just focusing the energy at the base of the spine, that red, breathing in and out, the sound of Lam. Just stay connected to the root here. Because again, energetic anatomy, that means we want to really focus our energy at this connection. You know, you can't go to the hospital and have them operate on your muladhara chakra, right? Like it doesn't work that way. They certainly could operate on your, you know, on your quad, on your hamstring, on your knee, on your, you know, any of these parts. But really the essence of this is in this root chakra awareness. You know, how safe we feel, how secure we feel, our blood, our bone lineage, our blood and bone and planet connection, our food body, our survival, the right to belong, the right to be here. If there's any doubt about that in your body, in your bones, whether or not you have the right to be here, right? So that all comes up when we enter these realms with consciousness and intention, and certain times of the year, certain like alignments. Again, the universe is asking us to explore these areas. And like I said, this week is a root chakra week. And we're seeing that in all the different ways. Take another big breath in. Exhale it out. And we're going to start to bring that left leg over to the right. So we're going to find that IT stretch. So roll the shoulders down, maybe hold the strap in the right hand, start to pull it across the body. Again, if you want more intensity, bring it closer to you. And so obviously, you know, doing a yoga class isn't going to save the world, but I do believe that when we do this work on ourselves, it does extend out, if nothing else, in our response to others. If we are taking the time to really descend into the root chakra, as is being offered through all of these planetary alignments, that does affect how we respond to the world. And one of the big themes of this Capricorn root energy is responsibility, really honing our ability to respond. How we respond to ourselves, to others, to the world, reorganizing our ability to respond. So notice how you're responding to your own body. Breathe into it, root into it. Keep breathing, adjust as you need to. So again, listening to the body. Listening is another big deal. Because when we don't feel safe, it's hard to listen, right? Because we're spinning, we're in survival mode. Listening to the breath, listening to the body. Take another big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Draw that left leg back up. Hold the strap or towel with both hands if that's available. Start to draw the leg in. Try to stay relaxed through the upper body. You might feel some shaking. Take another breath. And release the strap. Hug the knee in. And again, you can stay with the knee bent in. If you did an alternate quad stretch on the other side, you can do that. Otherwise, bend the right knee. Right hand reaches for the left foot underneath the left thigh. So you're kind of reaching under the left thigh. I'm sorry, the right thigh, excuse me. Right hand is reaching under the right thigh to hold the top of the left foot, and then pull the top of the left foot down under the right hip. So then we're lengthening the left knee, the left thigh straight down there. Roll the shoulders down, soften the jaw. And again, if you want to come up and do a different quad stretch, that's fine. Or just skip that all together and just hug the knee in. But lengthen that left knee forward. Soften the shoulders, soften the face. Release any tension in the neck. Deep inhale. And exhale. Slowly release. Hug that left knee in. And then hug both knees in for a moment and just massage the tailbone. So just let yourself roll along your tailbone. And again, you can do any movement that feels good. And we're going to take a supported inversion to let the blood flow the other way. So depending on where you are, you might shift yourself so that you can roll your legs up the wall. They can be 90 degrees up the bed. If you don't have any of that, you can always stack cushions up under the legs, or you can take a supported bridge and take the legs up that way. Again, be mindful with the head. So again, especially with pregnancy, make sure the head doesn't drop below the heart. And we're just going to take a few minutes. So again, if your body doesn't want to do this, if it wants something else, then this would be the time to honor that. But otherwise, we're once again kind of turning upside down, that kind of folding over the legs. So rather than standing, folding over the legs, or sitting, folding over the legs, now the legs are kind of coming up and over. So flushing out from the toes all the way down, all the blood and prana flows right into the stomach, into the spine. And just deepen the breath. So we're going to take a few minutes here in either legs up the wall or legs up the chair, supported bridge, supported shoulder stand, or anything that the body needs. So whatever you need to kind of shake off the roots and really just flush it out, because shortly we will be heading into final relaxation. So this is kind of our final few minutes before then to just flush out the root. So slow, deep belly breath. Feel the tailbone on the earth or whatever the tailbone is pressing into. Roll the shoulders down and back, soften the eyes. Again, move if you need to. again, the root chakra is very personal, right? Each one of us has a totally different with our root chakra that has to do with our family of origin, our history, our upbringing, where we are on the planet, where we are in our lives and our relationships and our work. So what is, while there may be some general ideas to work with the root chakra, what is appropriate for you may be very different than what, I'm offering. So listen to that. Listen to the root. Listen to the roots, to the bones, to the stones and the seeds. Listen to the energy of the earth. Winter is often a great time to be quiet with nature. Not so much, here in LA where it's 80 degrees, but if you're sitting with, the rains, the snows, again, the way the winter sort of curls in, invites us into that cave, that support. Let yourself just kind of settle into that for a few moments, just letting the body reset before we completely let go. Take a deep breath all the way down to the base of the spine. Open mouth, exhale. And as I mentioned, we're going to move towards final relaxation. And I'm going to give you two options. The first option is traditional Shavasana on the back. And for that, I recommend a pillow under the head and a pillow under the knees and maybe covering the body. Another great one for the root chakra, and also it's really good for pregnancy, is side-lying Shavasana. And this is good too for our elimination and digestion, but you would lay on the left side with a pillow under the head and then blankets or pillows between the legs too. And then you can even take another pillow or blanket into the arms and kind of curl it in. So this is actually one of my favorite Shavasana variations. It's actually really good for anxiety, the side lying. So just think about either one of those options, or if there's something else that feels more safe, more secure for you. I'm going to do a little bit of drumming for our Shavasana for the root chakra, because again, for me, that feels really, that's how I connect to the earth, the heartbeat of the earth. It's one of the ways that I was taught to make that connection to the earth. So go ahead and just take your time, get as cozy as you can. So especially talking about the root chakra, which is the fight or flight response, which is our survival, our safety. It's really important to allow that deep rest, that deep listening, that deep settling into the earth, letting the whole body get heavy. So really just, we don't have a long Shavasana, it's like 5 or 6 minutes at the most. So just allowing yourself that weight, that dropping in, that slowing down, that deep listening and reorganizing of the root chakra. Just relax your body into the earth. You can imagine your bones, how your bones sink closer to the earth, the skull, the spine, your arms, your ribs, the bowl of the pelvis, the sit bones, down the legs, resting your skeleton on the earth, and gathering your attention at the base of your spine. No effort in the breath, focusing the energy at the base of the spine. Letting go into that red pulse. You can just let everything sink deeper here into this connection, feeling that root down into the earth. In the same way, a baby in the womb is connected to the umbilical cord. And this grounding cord helps us to release into the earth anything that no longer serves and to draw back the earth energy that is regenerative and reorganizing. Feel the bones on the earth, rooting down into the earth. Every breath we surrender the systems and structures, belief systems and authority models that no longer serve. We receive the nourishment of safety, security, sustainability, belonging, thriving. Rest your bones on the earth, rooting into the earth. As you feel into the bones, the base of the spine, connecting to the earth. Focus the breath at the base of the spine, breathing in and out a rich red spiral. As you focus on this rich red spiral, that red moves out to shape four petals on all sides of a square, a center of the yellow square, a red upside down triangle. A red upside down triangle. Inside a yellow square with red petals. Again, you watch the breath build, the life force build in the yantra, the muladhara chakra. You feel that release into the earth, trusting the reorganization, trusting the integrity of your inner authority, your inner structure. Trusting you are safe and you are held and you belong. And you have everything you need. Take another big, big breath in to the base of the spine, the 4 red petals around the yellow square and the red upside down triangle. And then exhale everything out. Begin to deepen the breath. Feel the body held by the earth. And you can continue to breathe and rest here. Or begin to wiggle your bones and your fingers and your toes. Bringing movement back through the joints of the wrists and the ankles. Beginning to animate your skeleton as it fleshes out. And the breath deepens and the body draws back into itself from this deep reset on the earth. You can stretch, wiggle, roll to one side. You could gently rock up and down. And again, you can stay resting. But if you'd like, we'll return to our seat, whatever seat is comfortable and available. You can root your bones into the earth and lengthen the spine up and out of that pelvic bowl. You can rest your hands on your thighs or on your belly or anything that feels safe, comforting. And hopefully sensing that reset of the root. And we'll seal in our muladhara chakra practice with a final sound of the seed sound of Lam, L-A-M. And you can always just listen to. Take a deep breath in. Lam. Place your hands on the earth and bow, and I bow to you. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.